Tremulok. Greetings, Dovahkiin. Welcome to the show. Today I'm going to be talking about our new August reward card, the Pure Blood Elder, a new vampire that has been released into our game. A 7-drop, 8/8 creature. Good right there all by itself. That says that whenever your maximum magicka increases to double that amount. And then, on top of that, if we get up to 18, it gains an additional +8/+8 and breakthrough. This thing has a lot of potential to it, although my initial reaction when I first saw this card was that even though it looks super good, the fact that it doesn't happen until turn you've got 7 magic kind of limits it in a rather interesting way. Because when you put this down, if it's the only thing you've got on the field and your opponent is pushing in on you, it's not really helping. So my basic feeling when I was putting a deck together to try and play test this out was that this card needs to be sitting at the end of my curve. And I've put together a deck and filled it up with as much as I possibly can to increase the amount and ability I have to ramp into that. We've got the Hissgroves, we've got the Tree Menders, we've got, where is it? The Thorn Histmage, and the Spine of Elder's Blood. It's all in the deck. Everything I can possibly find, but the important point is that this is the end of the curve. I've got nothing in this deck past the 7 mana drop. This is intended to now be the win condition of the deck, whereas previously we might have put in some things like Alduin or Paarthurnax, Udaving. These are all great things and would be definitely game finishers. But my feeling was that if I've got these in the deck and this in the deck, I'm putting too much emphasis on having that much magicka, and I'm at the risk of just being aggroed out or not being able to keep pace with the game to get that far. So this is going to basically be the win condition of the deck. It's at the end of the curve, and let's see how this does. I'm going to just go into casual games. It is the start of the month, and I'm not really that concerned about where my rank currently is, but I'd rather just play the casual person right now to see what, just as a testing purpose. The deck is also running some reanimation aspects with Solitaire and the Falkreath, so that maybe if this does get silenced or killed, I can just pull it back out of my discard and put it back into the field so that it can continue to be the endgame winner that I want it to be. And here we go with game number 1. Oh, mirror match. And this looks like a really good start to me. And the reason I say that is I've got 2 1-drops and they synergize with each other, and a 2-drop that'll let me draw a card. So I'm going to start right off the bat of just going ahead and playing my word wall and boosting that drain vitality. And it looks like my opponent has similar ideas. And the one thing I am a little bit concerned about, let's burn and just bring you right on out. As I was about to say, though, the one thing I am concerned about right now is the fact that I am not currently sitting on any cards that will allow me to boost my magicka, which, being the whole focus of the deck, is a bit of a concern to me. And my opponent appears to not have that problem, as they have just played a Hissgrove. I'm going to stay on curve and drop my 3-cost Woodland Lookout. I do have a couple of dragons in this deck. And my opponent is doing what I wish I was doing. And I'm actually going to break curve here in order to get rid of that Hissgrove before it can become a problem. Now, my opponent could take this opportunity to remove this from the field. Oh, he's got a dragon. And a word wall. We are running some very similar decks here, and I feel like he is doing the better job of playing it. Now that only took 101 away from me, which means that he used this word wall to boost the other card, the Solitaire. Probably what I'm guessing is going to have been a Solitaire. And I'm just going to get that off the board. He's at 10, I'm at 7, and that concerns me a bit. Yep, there's that Solitaire, which he boosted. And he's bringing back the Shearpoint Dragon, which is now a 6/6. And interesting target. Oh, I'd love to bring that Thorn Histmage out right now, but if I do, I'm leaving this unchallenged. And I don't really want to do that. He's got 4 cards, I've got 2. That doesn't please me. Oh, he broke a rune. Couple of Tree Minders. He is continuing to do an excellent job of ramp and boosting. And I'm going to bring the other one of these down using my last Magicka ring to do so, because I want to keep my boosting going. He should trade here, and he does. That was sort of a mistake in my opinion on his end. Oh, there's my Pureblood Elder. And an excellent time to see him if I do say so myself. I'm going to hide him out in the shadow lane. Not that an 8/8 really has much to worry about. Of course, my opponent could be running the snake, although I think that a little unlikely. I don't want to be breaking his runes. Not until we're at equal levels of cards. So next turn, I'm at 16 right now. This will give me an extra 2 if he doesn't answer it, which means it will fire off to be the extra +8/+8. And at that point, I am going to start attacking with him. Goblin Skulk. A little bit of a late point in the game. Another one. To be bringing one of those out. At this point, it's really all about just getting the finish out there. So I'm not breaking through anything unless he puts something out. But, you know, 16-16, that's certainly a great way of ending a game. And even if he does drop something out here, you know, some sort of a creature with guard, it's just going to run right over it. Now, you might be running like a finish off or a leaf lurker to kill that one, but then I still have the other one. And my opponent has conceded. I'm going to offer up one more game here to see if we can generate a feeling of some consistency. So, moving right along, right on into game number 2. I don't want to start with the Pureblood Elder in my hand. The cost is just too high. Blue and red, there's a lot of aggro builds in that combination. And starting off with a word wall and 2 drain vitalities, super impressive way of starting for me. Because that means this shout is going to reach its 3rd level off my opening hand. So if my opponent is running aggressive, I'm just going to have the perfect ways of answering that. And it looks like he tossed his whole hand away. That's interesting. Does nothing on turn 1. I'm going to hold that word wall back because if he is playing aggressive, I want to use that to hold him off for a turn. And he is playing on a little aggressive. So now my drain vitalities have reached level 2. That's not, however, the full aspect of aggressiveness I was expecting. This must be a little bit of a different build. And as I rather sadly don't have anything else to do, I am going to go ahead and take off that one guy. He may fireball this down, and that's just fine. Since this can do 2 damage to his entire field, I don't want to throw it out there just to bring this down to a 1/1. I want to wait until he's really committed to use that. I'm not happy about the fact that I am once again not seeing any early ramp cards. And did he just bring down... Yeah, he brought down a Shrieking Harpy just to have down a Shrieking Harpy. So I've got to pass the turn here, and I'm not happy about that fact. Because I'm really allowing my opponent the ability to build up their board state right now. Another Leaf Lurker. Okay, so this is going to be a weapons build. And I finally have the ability to start doing some ramping. I could bring my Pureblood Elder down next turn. And he's swinging straight at me. One fireball, 2 fireballs. What? No 3rd fireball? Alright, so the play I need to make here is with my shear point dragon, because that combined with this should sweep his whole field. And does. And I just walked into a mistake. Should have attacked him first. I'm going to throw a little blocker up. Could use some more cards. I want to hold him off. Odds are he'll almost certainly either trade these or use something out of his hand to kill this. He's not going to let me swing this back. Arcano. I've got leaf lurkers in my hand. I don't have any taunt cards. Sure, I can do this. My health is getting a bit low. I do have the ability to gain a little bit back next turn. There's a nice trick. Shoot his own guy. And I think I'm going to end up trading Leaf Lurker for Leaf Lurker here. I do not want to be breaking another one of his runes. I'm kind of hoping he doesn't have a way in his hand of giving this another ward. Although if he does do that, as long as he doesn't break it himself, I can Soul Tear to pull back. I guess I can't do that. I'm thinking I'm going to Soul Tear to bring this back. Now I know this is my finisher and I haven't brought it out yet. I'd love to do that, but I need to get this board under control before I'm going to feel confident to bring this out. There's his raiding party. And a problem. Hello to the RNG. Can't say as I could really complain about having gotten any of that. I'm now at 3. Huh. That's a nice move. Because now this doesn't have anything it can kill. Unless I can boost it or weaken one of his things. I didn't have enough mana to do that. Alright, that's game. I kind of made a mistake there. All right, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show, and feel free to tune in next time.